Hey guys. And he was kind of beating all around the bush, and he said the reason was because really the person he has back home is his fin dom, and that she finally, and I was like, what? That's a thing?
But there's applying it, and then there's the actual action.
Right.
Like when you discipline a child. You tell
keep going. And then when we do it, you gotta say, scissor me, daddy, like that. All right?
No, you know.
This is not the fucking thing to do. Like,
They think that's normal.
I got you, like, buddy.
I can't.
Can't help her.
Minutes later, I see a pizza slide under my door. No contact. Like, I'm good.
You see the pizza slide under the door with the hands, and your fucking hand slam down on top of it and grab it.
We have an initial physical type of what we like to see initially, because our eye is always drawn to something. I can see a tall guy, big and broad shoulders, and I'm like, ooh, nice. But if he talks to me, and I'm be like, maybe not. Okay, so Mike, until we get the rest of the guys in, do you want to start with your first question for us ladies? First of all, are you drinking a Capri Sun?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. First things first, what is happening?
All right. I'm checking. Right. Just making sure I'm straight. You can hear me good?
Yes, I can hear you good.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, everybody, welcome to the We Got Questions podcast. I am one of the hosts of the show, Mr. Mike Hennessy, joined with the basic one right here. I think I'm going the right way, yeah, because I'm inverted, so I make sure I do that. But welcome again. Like I said, today we're going to have a nice, interesting topic. We're talking about something fun, something energetic, something different. I don't know. I wanted to do this, and I don't know, just looking at it, I said, okay, this would be a good conversation to have, because it's always like a competition of like millennials versus Gen Zs, and it don't have to be. It's not about the competition. It's just about the differences in how and who we are as people and how we grew up and all the other things. And, what's the thing that's happening? I guess what's the thing that separates us too? Like, is there a big separation? Are we more like them than we think? Or they more like us than we think? I have some interesting things behind Gen Zs and, me being a millennial and, how my position is on here. So, it's going to be pretty good to talk about that. So, but make sure that y'all are following, liking us on all of our platforms. I think yours is that straight across the board for everything.
Everywhere. Yes.
Yes, for everything. And this is for me, Mike Hennessy. If you look up that name, technically you'll just find everything. Like, it's for real. If you want other things, you might not find exactly me. So, we'll see. But like I said, tonight's topic, VHS to TikTok, text trends and the culture shift between millennials and Gen Zs. So we're not going to Gen X's. They're a whole different breed. We know what they are. So let's leave them alone. Let them stay exactly where they're at.
What's so funny is that I know where millennials fall, but I don't know where any of the other brackets fall.
I think the Gen Z started in like 96, maybe. I think 96 to 2011 or 12.
Okay.
Or two. And that's when it's now Gen. I think there was Alpha after that. And then after Alpha, now he's crazy. We're at Beta now. Yeah. A generation Beta. So anybody baby born in like 2003, something like 2020. I'm sorry, 2023. I think they're betas. I don't quote me 100%, but I know that for sure. I think they might be betas. So I'm gonna look at it real quick and try to see. Let me say Gen Z years. Okay. 97 to 2012. Yeah.
Okay.
97. I'm sorry. I thought it was 98, but 97 to 2012. So good, healthy amount of years. About what was that? 15, 16 years, something like that. About a 15-year thing. Okay. Hey, we
You said
here.
2012.
So, yeah, I have a Gen Z and you have a Gen Z, so fun. Good to know, you know, like
Yeah, 15 years.
13. Okay. All right. Just putting down little conversational pieces that I'm trying to bring up. So when we get to talking about it, we have everything we need for it. God damn it. Anyway, basic, how's your day been? Did you get a chance to spend any time with your dad and everything like that for
I
Father's
did
Day?
not go home for
Okay.
Father's Day. Lola's been under the weather.
Okay.
So we didn't get to go, but I did give him a call and talk to him. And he's
Okay.
doing good. Mm-hmm.
Good. I like that. All right, I'm happy to hear that. So, my Father's Day was pretty dope. I had a
Was
really
it?
good
Did you
time.
have a good one?
Yeah, I had
Did
a
you guys
good
do
Father's Day.
something?
Huh?
You guys do something?
Yeah, then I didn't see my daughter till late. So that was the problem with that one. I
Yeah.
didn't see her
Okay.
until Sunday. Because I know it was about being a father for that and everything in particular. But I brought me gifts and stuff like that, so I was pretty happy to get stuff like that.
Nice.
And Gabby got me a card, and my mom, and grandmother, and the rest of the family just hit me up, and and friends, all the friends and everybody like that. Even the ones that came late to say, Happy Father's Day. Everybody, like you, everybody came through and said something to me. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Nice.
Father's Day or whatever. Thank you. Thank you. But listen, anybody who's watching this first time, was that me?
For a second,
What
I
the
don't know
hell
what
that
happened.
was? Anybody who's watching for the first time, like, subscribe, share it out to somebody who can relate to this conversation, or you would like them to tune into this conversation. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off real quick. All right, so I would say for you, basic, like as far as you being in your era and stuff like that, what is some of the, I guess, give me a couple things that was in, because we both know the same things of what happened as a millennial in our younger years, but what were some of the things, I guess, that was happening at that time that you can kind of remember where it's like this was a fun time, or this was a dope, like, I guess, invention, or stuff like, what do you kind of remember about that time for yourself?
I remember the transition from like Walkman and tapes, like the Walkman, to like when it was this, like when the CD ones came out, like the portable CD players. We thought that
CD
was
player?
like we thought that was like if you got that, you really had, like, you were elevated. You know what I mean? Like, for us to, when you had that transition from bringing a regular like Walkman to school to having, like, if you were able to have like the DVD, not DVD, but the CD, sort of like, what do they call it? They didn't call them Walkmans, the portable players. What did they call those? I don't even remember. But when you got to that point where you were able to have those at school, it was like, okay, now I'm doing something with this. Like, that, I remember when that was exciting. And then I remember when portable DVD players became like all the rage, and kids were walking around watching DVDs and movies for no reason, like in random places. Like, why were we walking around with a flip up DVD player everywhere we go? Why were we watching movies on the go? Like, what were we doing?
Listen, that was the shit. Oh my gosh, who did I think Chaz had one. Chaz had one, and I got it from him. And I remember that I used to like watch, like, oh my god, I forgot what DVDs. I would watch like old wrestling DVDs and stuff like that on there. Sorry. I would watch old wrestling DVDs on there all the time, and I loved every piece of it. Like, it was so dope because I would go everywhere. I didn't realize how convenient some of that stuff was. Like, of course, now having our phones and stuff like that now is a lot better and a lot more accessible for stuff, because we can just look up anything we want and watch it. But I kind of miss that old classic style of like how I watch things. Like,
yeah,
I miss buying CDs. And now, granted, I know a lot of people can, gonna say different. We have it at a snap of our fingers now, but for some reason, like, maybe this is a little. It's not a shade at the coach. It's not a shade at the Gen Zs, but it's a kind of slight shade at the culture. We became way more lazier when it came to like music and stuff like that. Because now I just press a button and just sit here like this. I used to love knowing that like my favorite rappers and my favorite music producers and stuff was going to be you had to look on the album to go find out if they were on there. Like it would be like you'll find out like me being a big Timbaland and Pharrell guy at the time when I was a kid, like going and looking at it like, oh shit, Timbaland made this song, and then go play it to go see what it sounds like
or like when you get the CD and you get the little booklet out and open it up to like see what all the lyrics like you got to open them up to see who's on each song and what the lyrics are to each one. Right. And you know what else was it was pretty dope? Did it remember when they started putting DVD players in TVs and cars? Yep. I remember I had a 2000 and how would I say it? 2003 or 4 because I had got it at that time in 2009. I had got a Ford Explorer. I remember I had an all blue Ford Explorer, and I was able to press the button at the top, and it would pop down a CD player and everything like that. And you plug it up, and you play it. I thought I was the shit. I was like, yeah, man, people in the car watching CDs and stuff. You know, I think I got my car is shit. Like, no, I got one for you. When I was little, when I was young, like little, and I remember when car phones first came out, and I thought that it was like it would be like that big ass bag that people would have their car phone in. It's because it was like a big ass phone, and the phone was huge. Like you were holding up a whole ass receiver to your face, like this brick receiver to your face, like to talk. But not only that, when they had the phone book for the car, and it was just like a thick, short, chubby ass phone book that you would have to carry around in your car. That all the numbers in it. Crazy.
Yeah, I remember those. What's up, Serena? What's going on? Welcome back. So Serena, today's topic, I'm going to put it up. Anybody that's brand new that's coming up in here, I got to make sure I post it for you guys so y'all can know exactly what we're looking at. So tonight's topic, VHS to TikTok, tech trends, and the culture shift. We just basically talking about what it's like to be a millennial and, you know, the culture differences between us and the Gen Zs. Like, we're really not that far from each other. Like, I have like a saying for things, but, you know, it's just, you know, and share any of y'all stories about y'all millennial lives, because I know most of us in here are. So, but you were saying something about the DVD and the phone, like in the book. Like the crazy part is back. I don't even know if they. I don't know how. I'm trying to think. What was it different about back then? Not just the phone, but they had. I think CD players came out later when we got older. As we were getting older, CD players in the car came out. Yes. And that changed the game. Like, ain't gonna lie, that changed the game. When you was able to bring your CDs outside now, you just.
It was like we went through this transition of it was only cassette tape. It went to like if you had cassette and CD, like you had both options. And then
you had money. Yeah, money.
But doing the cassette, like it was completely obsolete, and then it was just like you just had to have CDs. It was like, well, hell, what am I gonna do with all of my tapes? But like, not only that, but like remember carrying around that big ass fat booklet of CDs in the car, or having it up on the visor, like where it's just like CD, and you could put it up on the visor. Or you would have like the booklet that was like sleeves full of different CDs for you to select.
Mm-hmm. Man, my cousin still got that book. I remember he popped that joint over and it smelled like nothing but plastic. I'm like, yo, your book stink. Like, this book over here like a damn relic, like, you know, with Tupac, All Eyes on Me, goddamn Biggie mixtapes, freestyle mixtape, Philly mixtapes, Freeway, everybody just all up in there, like SWV, Total. I remember I used to steal so much of my Uncle Jason's CDs because he had so much stuff with like Timbaland on it. I was that dude like was everything to me as a kid. So I was like, yo, give me all of this. And I remember he used to want to kick my ass. I was just
not to mention when people started figuring out how to burn CDs.
Damn. Yeah, how to burn CDs.
I remember when I went to college, we had a dude who used to come to the school all the time, and we never knew his name. We called him 2 for $5 because he was selling 2 for $5 CDs every day. I never knew that kid's name. He was always 2 for 5. That's all we called him in school.
Now you sit there and think about it. We probably one of the reasons. We definitely some of the reasons why people probably was like music sales wasn't big back in the day because we were burning it on your CD. Like,
yeah,
people were burning it. Look, you know what? I never realized how creative I was with like the CD stuff. When I used to take my mom's, my mom had a stereo system, right? And once again, being a Timbaland fan, y'all never knew that you could do this, right? So like on a Missy's first album, she had a song called Beat Me 911. And Timbaland is beatboxing in there, right? And I would hear it. And I remember I don't know why I would do it. I would go to the back of my mom's stereo system and I'll pull the red, where they had the red, yellow, and white chords.
Mm-hmm.
I would pull them out just slightly enough where I can mess around with the static in there. And the crazy part about it, I don't even know if they knew it, like you can actually break it off where you could just hear parts of the song. You can hear the background of what's going on in the song. So let's say maybe that's how they made them. That was the trick to how they made them. But I remember Timbaland was beatboxing on the song. And you can literally hear it. Yo, what's going on, Wilkerson? Welcome in. I remember you can clearly hear Timbaland beatboxing. Like it was almost like you can hear the music, and it was like almost like you never hear people when they're in the studio and it's quiet around them, but they're doing all the sound effects and rapping and singing and stuff. Mm-hmm. You can hear that, but you can hear the music deep in the background,
right?
And you'll hear Timbaland like just. That's how I learned how to do it because he just kept doing that. So I repeat it, and I knew how to do that whole entire song beatboxing it.
That's crazy.
So it was dope. I think that was a dope experience. And I'm not taking nothing, like I said, away from kids now, but I'm like, that shit was fun. That was fun that, I mean, I love having the easy access, but it was fun back then.
Yeah.
I guess it was like a damn treasure hunt to go get some music sometimes.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Like when it was like a CD release date or they were releasing the music and having to like make sure that you could get there and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like even remember I remember when they did it. I was working at Target when they did away with our music section that had like we had rows and rows of CDs that were all, of course, categorized by alphabetical order. I remember going into work one day being like, "Where the hell is the CD section?" Like we stop selling CDs.
All right, so look, I got something, right? I'll ask you this, right? And everybody just thinking like everything was so cheap back in the day. It's crazy how expensive stuff was back in the day. And we make more money now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we still kind of complain about how much things cost back in the day. Where technology, we caught up to technology if you really think about it. And the prices that we paying actually makes sense. Because of the prices we spent, it was $300 to $400 for those portable CD players.
At what point? Because ain't no way by my
in the 1990s, the price of CD players varied, but generally early models were quite expensive, with high-end portable players costing around $300 to $400, which will be well over $700 today.
Yeah.
So we actually think about like we've kind of caught up because, like, we're paying for iPhones and stuff like that, but. They of course they work their little deals and stuff out on them, but they're saying like by the mid 90s to the end of the year they were more affordable. They were $200. Like, like it don't even matter. Like all was expensive. Like I remember getting like a CD player. They had boom boxes back in the day. The crazy part is boom boxes were cheaper than CD players.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
and if you could get the one where you could load up like 4 or 5 different like CDs in it and shuffle them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that it had the little drum that you could just like shuffle them around. Oh shit! Damn. Okay. Really right. So, like, of course, CDs are no more. Like everything is digital now. They're making a lot more money than ever before. So, I always wonder, like, now I'm sitting there thinking about, I need to talk to my mom. Like, Mom. How broke were you, Mom? Or were y'all, do y'all have a connect or something like that back in the day? Like, cause I'm confused. Like, how the hell was you getting these things? My mom damn sure had all that stuff. Like, but what is the biggest differences with us as far as Gen Zs and millennials, us as millennials and stuff. We are the pioneers of the internet era. We are the reason why it's so successful because we used it a lot. We were the ones that was doing it. You go back 2 years ago to one of our shows and we were talking about AOL days and chat days and stuff like that. Look how many people were on there.
Yeah.
There were a crap ton of people on there. That internet got open, and the crazy part of the internet fully got opened up in I think a 2000, something like that, something like 2000. Yeah, about 2000. It got fully opened, and now where we at, us being the ones who started a lot of the things. These kids now, they're born with the knowledge. They come into the world with your password to the phone. They know your shit.
No. They know how they take them little from babies. They take them little baby fingers and they know how to swipe with their thumb. Why does your baby hand know how to swipe through stuff? What do you know about swiping?
And you remember your AIM name? Mine was Basketball Star XI. I remember my man Charles made it for me. Well, Chaz made it for me.
I had
Basketball Star XI.
many AIM names because we were switching out them free DVDs, like the free discs to upload AOL. We were switching out the bad boys out on a regular and running them trials. Like we did all.
Listen. No, go ahead. Go. I'm listening.
We did all. So I can't remember. I do still have and still use at that my email address from right when I went into college. Hell, I still have my email address from high school. So my email address from high school was LadyLo007. Why the fuck I picked 007? I don't know. At Hotmail. When I got into college, I changed it to LR Perez, more professional. But they are both functioning. They both are still active. I still use LR Perez to this day, that one. But the Lady Low 007, I can pull up some shit from I know that had to be one of them. That had to be one of my AIM names because I was using that forever, for the longest.
Right. So you know what? That's a good question to ask y'all. What was your AOL name? What was your AOL name, and what was you doing at that time? Now, not to keep the focus fully on us as millennials. Let's put the focus on the Gen Zs. Their ability to just adapt to technology is next level. It's judged heavy, but we're doing the same things our parents did to us. I think the only difference is the consumption of it is what matters to me the most. Yeah. How much of it you're consuming? Are you consuming it so much that you're not paying attention to yourself? When my daughter used to annoy me a little bit because she used to walk across the street. What up, Simone? How are you?
Hello.
How are you? My daughter used to walk across the street and sometimes be looking at her phone. And I'll be I'll be with her, but that was a time where I'm like, yo, you got to understand, that's not your reality. That's something else, kid. Your reality is that car going to possibly hit you if you walk across the street with your head down. That I will say that. I'm not going to say all of them, but sometimes the common things isn't so common with some of the Gen Zs.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though they are very advanced with stuff. Go ahead.
That's true. I definitely had to taper Lola off. And I say this to say, Gen Z, that generation ushered us into this new age of social media that we have. You have to think about it. Before TikTok was TikTok, it was, what was it, Vine? And before that was Musical.ly. Lola was doing Musical.lys before I even knew what that was. That was what her and her friends were doing all the time. And then it transitioned over into Vine, and then from Vine into TikTok. But that generation built that. That's why when they said TikTok started off as a kids app, it did. They built that. We just took it. We took it from them. But they built it. They did. Lola, the first time hearing her do songs and singing songs on Musical.ly, and then it was her and her little friends. And that's what they did all the time. They actually jump started this whole thing, and it just transitioned into something bigger. But I definitely had to taper her off. Like I had to, there were so many times, especially during middle school, where I was like, that was the go-to punishment. If you can't figure out how to get your grades up, you won't have your phone for a month. Like, figure it out. And also, if you don't know how to stop looking at that phone, you won't have one. Like I would, would just have to like make sure that she wasn't like taking too much of it. And it was interfering with other stuff. But as they get older, they get better. At least she did. I can't speak for everybody, but she definitely got a lot better with it as she got older.
Right. So I ain't gonna do my nephew in like that, but I remember back then when Musical.ly was out, I had no clue nothing about it. It's funny because that kind of goes into our question, like, of how are they really that far apart from who we are, like as millennials? Yeah. And they're not. Your point just proved our point. We kind of started. I'm about to take this down, but we started. Sorry, go ahead.
We're doing it, and you both keep. Those are really good punishments. Taking that phone.
As again, today's see y'all going too far ahead. See, I like where y'all at, but we too far ahead. Stay right there, Simone. I love that you even right there right now. So we're not that far from from them, but like I said, we came in and we are obviously the pioneers of internet. So like we're the pioneers of social media too, but our social media was just different than their social media. But we were the pioneers of this stuff. Now they go and get Musical.ly, which turns into Vine. Oh no, Vine and I think Musical.ly went straight from Musical.ly to TikTok. I think Vine was Vine is over. Vine was just like a 15-second, y'all recorded a video, did something real quick, and it was done.
True, but I think Vine was part of the concept that helped to make TikTok.
And no, I think Musical.ly was the only one.
But I mean, in its structure now, think about it. We're doing 15-second videos. 15-second. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like the brainchild behind a lot of yeah. Okay, I got you.
Like the
because other platforms wasn't doing that. Every other platform was just pictures and status updates. That was it. But what do you say? Who was just saying? Oh, like we went and came in, and then we completely took TikTok away from them. My daughter talked about TikTok so much, and I'm like, what the hell is TikTok? I didn't start TikTok until 2020.
Yeah.
Even though I think I had an account since 2019 because my daughter would use my account or make an account and she would be doing stuff. But she was so young at that time with stuff. She knew what she was doing, but she didn't fully know what she was doing. So it was like Vine, Musical.ly, TikTok.
We do take everything.
Yes.
We took it. They started it and we.
Yes. You know why? Because once they opened up the floodgates to us, we loved it. So we never wanted to be off of it. So the new thing that came along, we went and we did it. We came and we conquered the new thing. Like so many people wanted to be on. Remember how many people wanted to be on Facebook? Like they were tired of MySpace at the time. They was like, yo, I want to go to Facebook. Like it looks dope. It's this. It's status updates. And you were excited to start talking about your life. Because let's say we wasn't doing that stuff. We weren't doing that back then. Now, it was all over the place, but hold on,
right. I know Lola said that. Look, when for a long time Lola was like, "Why are you on TikTok? What are you doing?" And then it became she didn't have a page and I had a page, and she didn't have a presence on the app. It was me. And just recently she started posting. I mean, now she's 20, but just recently she started posting and like getting some sort of like following. But for the longest, she was like, "Mom, like, why are you on it? Why are you making TikToks?"
Yeah, no, I'm with him with that. So like, we basically a chat might pop up on the bottom of the screen. I'm trying something out. I'm doing something. You'll see if somebody starts talking, you'll probably see it pop up. I want to see what happens with it when it does it. But so. I can imagine they feel like that, but at the same time, I never felt like that was from my daughter. Your daughter was getting older, so it was like she can tell, like, all right, mom, you taking our swag now, like that's crazy. Now it's like they watching us be kids all over again.
Yeah,
and then now I don't have a problem with it. We're not trying to focus on them. But now the Gen X's are there too.
Yes.
And it's like, I love them, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all a little different. Y'all come on there and then anyway, let's go back to let's continue on.
Listen, Simone, you know what's so crazy?
Oh, yeah, it's on the screen. You see it?
MySpace. I know I had MySpace, but I don't remember much about my MySpace. I met I know that I used MySpace, and I probably made a couple of friends off of MySpace. When I say friends, I mean guys. Like a couple of them. Never that I met, but just like, I don't think I was as into it as a lot of people. Like, they were like, they had the whole backdrop. I remember one dude, I think I stopped doing on MySpace because I actually dated a dude that I met off of MySpace that lived in my city. And he got on my nerves so bad, I stopped going on it. Like, he aggravated me so bad, I stopped even going on MySpace. I never picked it up again. That's just how bad it was. He annoyed my ass so much. And then he would be just like checking to see where he fell, like in my top 8. I can't see him right now. You're not there no more. It's somebody else.
I don't know what they gave.
Black Planet was also much like Black Planet was my shit too. Like, I love Black Planet.
Right. So MySpace used to be,
in college, Black Planet was like the place to be.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna laugh, but I still got my MySpace. That's the part.
Oh, I do see it now. It's so cool. You still have your MySpace?
Yeah, but I don't have none of my pictures and that like that on there. I don't know what the hell happened.
That's crazy.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Like, you can access it? I'm so confused right now.
I guess. I don't know. It ain't I'm just looking at it. It's blank as hell. I'm just it's just dope to even know that this stuff even still kind of exists.
I used to love being able to put music to the background. No, yep. Talk about old school. Right. How the hell did I get on MySpace? I used to
Who said that?
Simone. So you can put music in the background, but my favorite thing when I was like in high school was holding my phone up to the radio or to like my stereo and recording a song to leave for my voicemail messages. Like, you let the song play a little bit, then you do your message, and then you let the song play the like outro, and you can change it based on like how you feeling. So if you pissed off at your boyfriend at the time, it's gonna be like some random ass like song like When a Woman's Fed Up. Like, that's how you start it. Leave your message and then like let it play out. Like, you just change your voicemail message and put songs in the background for whatever the fuck you going through at the time. It used to be dramatic as hell for no reason.
I'm trying to see if I can put this on screen. Oh man. I still got it. I don't even know why it's even here. No, it don't. Let that thing sit there and check. Like,
I wish we could still like. I need to play a song for how I'm feeling, and then change my voicemail to whatever the need, like how I'm feeling that day.
Let me see.
When to not fuck with me.
All right, hold on. Let's see. I don't know which one it is now.
Well, you have more than one MySpace page?
No, it ain't that. I'm trying to get to on MySpace so I can show you exactly. I don't know which one to look at now.
Wait, while Mike is doing this, I need to tell y'all I went through a crisis this weekend. Okay.
Damn.
I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. As you can see, my nails and my nail shape changed. Okay, can you see? My ass said, Raquel, let's do something different, right? Let's try something different. For years, you've worn the same shape and you've worn your nails extremely long. Let's see if you like shorter nails. Now, first of all, I almost cried when they did the first chop of my nail off. Okay, when they cut into my nail to do this. Then the drive home, it was like having an identity crisis. Whose hands are these? Whose hands these long? Like whose hands is this? I don't know how long when I look at it like this, it's cute. Okay, when I hold my hand out like this, it's cute. When I hold my hand up like this, it's a reminder of just how short and chubby these fingers are. These short, stubby ass little hands of mine.
Oh,
whose
shit.
hand is this? Like whose hand is this? We'll see. We'll see.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Right.
I went through a whole, like I told Lola I wanted to cut my hands off.
I'm sorry. Sorry for your fingernails.
I mean, it wasn't I made the choice. You said sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. It was you. All right. I'm about to say, I thought something else happened.
I'm trying something new. But I'm trying to also get used to it. That's all. Mary J. Blige, when I can cry. You are right. You have me tomorrow. You're not worth my tears. Leave a message. Yes. Yes. It needs to be just like that.
Yeah, that's back in the day shit right there.
Any day that we upset, pick the perfect song, play it in the background, leave your message, and then do a little outro
and
to
then
it.
Bounce. And then you gotta let it play a little bit.
You gotta let it play out. You gotta let it play out, yeah.
My cousin Felika, she used to always had like them sexy voice messages and shit. We call and talk to my cousins about her, and you hear her back. She playing goddamn. I don't even know whose song that was. The Forget About Day. I don't even know how that song go. I don't know who it is. It's just from back on like I don't know whose soundtrack that was, but it was on a soundtrack. And that was her background playing all sexy and shit. Like she'll have like Janet Jackson's songs on there and shit like that from back in the day from off a Control album and all that. I'm like, yo,
right.
Them old school stuff to be funny as hell, man. Like those are fun times. Those are fun times. All right, let's see what I got. All right, so our track, we're gonna have tech transitions like what we've had compared to what they had. We witnessed transition from analog to digital. So we've witnessed digital things like when they started going to the digital stuff, because obviously I feel like millennials has experienced it. We experienced everything. Like, of course, Gen X did, but we lived in those experiences. We were the experience, like they weren't targeting older people. Yes, it was on Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Yes. Yeah, I'm old as fuck. But it was on there. But yeah, they're a part of that era of things, and just like we are a part of this era, like we knew what the struggle, I guess, was. Like I said, waiting for everything, having VCR, having cassette tapes. We went from that, and having we had to pay for CDs and music that way, to now you got to do it. Just wait until 12 o'clock midnight. You get the full album on Spotify, on Apple, on Amazon, on Pandora, on whatever other service that's out there. You snap your fingers. YouTube Music is all on there. Like, you have to snap your fingers. Right. So they grew up in an entirely digital world and in digital first world. So it was like everything was just, we that shit flying our way like fucking
y'all
Sonic.
Having a cassette tape and the ribbon would come out. If that little ribbon came out of the cassette tape, and then you got to take it and wind it back up to get it. And don't let that shit. Don't let it twist while you wind it back up. Like, don't let that happen. What I tell you.
Yo, reminded me of this struggle is making my head hurt. Oh my God. I used to take a pencil, right? You take a pencil or a pen and you put it in there and you like did it roll, like you had to wind it up, but you had to keep the tape straight at the same time, wind it up. And then when you talk about when it be crooked and shit, you be like, oh, come on.
You got to
fuck the whole tape up. Fuck the whole tape up. Gosh. How much were those things? They were like $10, right?
What, like cassette tapes?
Cassette tapes. Probably like $5 maybe.
That was like our Wi-Fi cutting off. That was like, if fuck around and let that shit come out, and then you got to try to wind it back up.
Yep.
Or when you're trying to find a song, and don't let it be like a double-sided tape, like there's a side A and side B, and then you got to try to find the song, and if you rewind, like you're steady trying to rewind and stop, right, or fast forward just to get to like just the, because it wasn't like skipping ahead to the song you wanted. You had to try to figure out just how to get it back where you want it. Craziness.
That you also remember how rewinding it, and you can hear how fast that shit was moving. You was like, yo, that shit sound like it's about to rip. Like you sitting there frustrated as hell, like, yo, that sound like it's about to rip. I don't like this.
Like 2 to 5. You can record on those tapes too.
I was the king of recording music off the radio.
Yes.
The king. I would be sitting there waiting for a song, and you got to press record and play at the same time. Fucking finger all hurting your shit, you know, fucking finger up.
You gotta press them both down at the same time. Make sure they're set.
This shit was Stone Age material, like, yo. I loved it though. I loved it.
Oh man.
All right, so our devices that they said it, us as millennials had first, we were PC first. And what I mean is like Windows 95. Windows 95, then we went, and there were Mac, remember Mac computers? They had the blue backs and the pink backs and the white backs and the whatever backs. Like those were the next in line. And then that's when like Windows started coming out with their own PCs. Microsoft started coming out with theirs. Dell, all the stuff started coming out as time went on. Right. They're saying Gen Z's first devices are mobiles. They have mobile phones first.
Yes.
Yeah, because like a lot of them, even for like let me see, Gabby's is the youngest of the Gen Zs. So like more Gen Zs that are older have more relations to us as far as our techs, because by the time they were like 8 or 9, they were flip phones, they were sidekicks. They were in that era. If you were 97, like born in like 97, you were sidekick. You know, so you knew like stuff from then. We were more or less like everything. We went from fucking reading books and history books when people were writing dicks in the back of the history books to actually now we're using a computer to do stuff. You know, like Marcus to this day is still looking for a software that we played when we was in the 8th grade. He trying to find this shit bad and it's nowhere to be found on the internet. It's almost like a
You know what it is?
It was called Hyper Studio or something like that. Something Hyper Studio. And you could play like games on there and shit like that. It was just and we were content creators on there. We were doing content creation on there. I remember, I don't know what I made, but it's how I don't know what I made, but we had a project. We had to do a project in the 8th grade. And fucking Marcus did the Big Show theme from wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, this the Big Show. He made it playing and recorded it playing, and it's going around like this. Like it looked all fucked up. But you can hear him cracking up and laughing, laughing while he's doing it. Me, I don't know what the hell. I think I made a porn, like not an actual porn, but like I had this sensual, sexual ass music and and I don't know what I was doing, but I guess my teacher was impressed, so he gave me an A for it. So, but yeah, that was back in the day shit right there. Hold up, what did they say in the comments? Not gonna lie, cassette tapes came before me. But LimeWire, listen, LimeWire is the king. We gonna get to that. We almost there. We heading there now. That was gonna be the next topic.
To download anything off LimeWire was like, it was a true test of like patience. Don't let that shit fuck up like halfway through and you gotta start off.
Yo, oh my gosh, Simone, yo, that's the truth behind truth right there. When the DJ, listen, I grew up in Philly. We had this one DJ that was loud as fuck. You be sitting there and I remember when they came out they would come out like a new Jay-Z song, they get this shit, and you turn it down. Yeah, Jay-Z. You be like, yo, man, why are you fucking screaming like? Sounds like you, yeah. But that shit was hilarious. Like, so she talking about like recording on the cassette tape, like
yeah. Or
Yeah.
even
That's
don't let you get a scratch in a CD, and that like, that shit skips, and then you started trying to figure out a way to like.
I mean, CD cleaners my mom and bought trying to get us to clean the fucking CD. Oh my god, the top of that motherfucker look crisp. When you turn that some bitch over, it looked like somebody was just taking it, like a cat was fucking that joint up, like you.
Or if you're listening to the portable ones and it start to skip, and you gotta like hit it.
Right. You know exactly what part they're tapping on too. So it can skip to the next part of the song.
We good.
Yeah, the struggle was real back in the days. Like
we struggled through all of it, and like now, like you said, now they don't. It's like plug and play. Like they didn't. We witnessed the development of where to where we are now. Like we took it we watched from the very beginning. Even especially when it comes to social media, like the beginning of social media, like you were saying earlier, the earliest developments of stuff and people, what like the concepts of social media looked like, and we watched it evolve all the way to what it is now. When it comes to technology, we saw like the very earliest stages of like when it was a car phone, when the first big ass brick ass cell phones we were carrying that were not big block like huge ass gray antenna out to here. They holding them up to their faces, talking about as a portable phone. It was bigger than the phone in the house. Essentially, you had to carry it around in a bag. They would have a bag they would just have on their shoulder, and that's how they was carrying around that cell phone. And then to get from that, the next huge, remember when Nokia's came out, and we thought we were doing some shit because it was smaller. And you look at the Nokia phone now, you be like, what the hell was this? Like this gray ass. All you can do is play the snake game.
Oh, Nokia phones. I've never actually owned a Nokia phone ever in my life. I've never had that. Oh, really? Chad, Destiny Child texting on an Excel sheet always sends me.
Kelly, it's okay. So there's a music video with Kelly Rowland and Nelly. And she's texting Nelly, but when she's on her like sidekick and opens it up, it's a damn Excel spreadsheet.
Was that like was that like a botch or something like in a song? I
don't know, but it is hilarious. I gotta see if I can find it.
What up, Chaz? Welcome in. Basic, you do have someone that knows you. His name is So Fresh and Clean. He was like, he just sent me a message. He's like, so 2 things. 1, I had no idea you knew Basic. She's super dope. And 2, me and my best friend are going to record the first episode. Oh, they're starting a podcast. Nice.
Oh, nice.
So somebody knows who you are. That's what's up. Yeah, come on over. Come on over. Leilani said, oh, Kelly Rowland and Dilemma. Okay. Wow. Wait. That is wild behavior. I did not know that. Oh, look, so while she doing that, right? While she's talking about it, as we going, oh, Suave, okay. But it is you, Suave, ain't it?
Yeah, it's from the Dilemma video.
What's going on? He said, I'm trying to be like you. Hey, man, listen, we're going to talk after this over. You remember we was talking before? We're going to talk. But welcome to the show. This topic is dope. We're having a lot of fun with it. We're talking about basically millennials and Gen Zs, not millennials versus Gen Zs, millennials and Gen Zs, because I have a Gen Z. She has a Gen Z. Like, you probably have a Gen Z. Everybody has a Gen Z. So,
okay, are you ready, Mike? I'm going to try to hold it up so y'all can see it.
Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Wait, do you want it with the music?
No, don't play it with the music because we'll get copy strikes. They're gonna be like, no, I can't do it. All right, let's make big. Hold on. I'm gonna make you the big screen. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna put you at the big screen. Hold on. Where is the TikTok? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so y'all can see this really well, right? No, okay. Is that good? Is there a glare? Okay. Oh, I should. My dumb ass. Just wait. She's about to pull that phone out and send a text message.
Okay. Let's see. What the fuck?
Like, excuse me. We was
Oh my god. Yo. Oh my god.
Excuse me. You were typing in Excel?
Hey, yo, man.
You were sending Excel messages? I didn't even know we were doing that.
Yeah, she gotta get her life together on that one. I'm sorry. I done probably switched the thing like 5, 6 times. Yeah, that was there you go. That was gonna be my suggestion.
Right,
The Excel sheet was insane. Yo, that is crazy work.
We were typing in Excel. I missed that. I thought I was doing something when I was
How the fuck
when
did
I
she
had
get an Excel sheet on that? Wait, did they have Excel sheets? Chaz, confirm this, please. Did they have Excel sheets on there? But real talk, back in the day, texting was the main connect because it was on prepaid Johns.
So she
really?
Phone, but the way she flipped that bad boy up, it was like, I think I had that phone too. It was so crazy. When she flipped that thing up and looked at that Excel sheet, what did you need cells for? What did you need that for, text?
What is after Gen Z? Because that is what I have. What you mean? Oh,
like, what's the next era after Gen Z?
Oh, she got a I think you have an alpha. How old is she again? She should be what, 4 or 5, something like that, Leilani? I think it's alpha. Because my daughter's not an alpha, she's a Z. She's the very end of it. Yep, they did. We didn't figure it out until we became adults. Right. I gotta look up what device that was. That was a Sidekick too.
It was a Nokia. It said Nokia on the phone. I just looked at it again.
Wait, was this Samsung Sidekick or a Nokia Sidekick?
It was I don't know, but that was the phone she had was a Nokia because it said it inside of the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Look, the more you learn. The more you learn. Okay. It was a Nokia 9210 communicator. That shit sound like that don't sound like a damn satellite dish. Like,
right?
That's probably what the hell she had, a damn satellite dish in her hand. So, but once again, Gen Z's the thing that I would tell you that amazes me about them, it's just how quick they grasp all of this stuff. Like, and they're just getting smarter now. Sidekick was T-Mobile, right? Yeah, T-Mobile Sidekick, right. Yeah. T-Mobile made money. They had everything. Remember, they was the one that came out with they was the ones who really pushed the razor at one point.
Yes.
They were the ones that did a lot of that shit. And yup, it had XL on it. Oh, that's crazy work. Oh yeah, she's an alpha. I love my Sidekick. I want them to bring that. Yo, Sidekicks was dope, yo. Listen, Chaz probably remember this. I ain't pay my fucking bill at all. But Chaz got me this Sprint. Chaz, what was that Sprint phone? He had the Sprint phone that they got at this time, and I wound up getting one too. That Sprint phone was nice than a motherfucker. It was slide up the sides and stuff like that. I forgot what it was called. Oh my god! I remember when I was able to put music on there. Oh my gosh! I put Pharrell's first album all on that joint. Like, yo, and I would play it loud as shit. And they used to be on ringtone when I was a kid. So it was like, what was it, like 19 or something like that? 19 when Pharrell's album came out, 20, something like that. Oh yeah, that John.
You know what phone I used to love? My BlackBerry. When I got a BlackBerry, I thought I was doing something.
I think that was everybody's favorite phone.
I didn't need a BlackBerry. I was like, what the fuck did I need a BlackBerry for? It was the fact that I loved my BlackBerry.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Didn't need it. Using the BlackBerry, acting like I'm sending emails like I got a job. I didn't even have a job.
Listen, so you got to flodge a little bit. You know what I mean? He said he hated the BlackBerry. Oh, you hated the BlackBerry?
It made me feel like I loved all those buttons.
He said too many buttons. I probably could have been able to do the BlackBerry back then because my hands isn't as big as they are now. Like, we're as big as shit now. But when I was younger, I was much thinner, and I probably could do it. But
I love them.
I had a BlackBerry for a little bit. Yeah. Just like I can imagine that Gen Z's favorite phone now is an iPhone. I don't hear too many
Oh,
Gen
that's
Zs talk about Android phones at all. Like, not even a little bit. Like every Gen Z I know has an iPhone. So and it's crazy because that's more or less the style now. I don't know if we was the ones who started that shit, but now it's like if you got an Android phone and oh, you ain't got the better of the brands, and it's like, what you know about iPhones now, they out here doing some bullshit, but who am I? All right, so
think
now
if I bought a BlackBerry, I can still use it. You think if I bought a BlackBerry now, I can still put it like the service on it.
Hey, look, people can do it on Blackberries, man. Like you can bring that shit back. Everything can be brought back. They bought the Razor back. They can bring everything back. Shit. Imagine a Sidekick in today's generation. That phone gonna be big as fuck because you gotta watch YouTube. You got that screen gonna be crazy. Like, so this is the platforms that we had as a kid compared to what they have now. So our platforms, I made platforms when we were younger. Now I'm gonna throw two more in there because I felt like we had other platforms that people didn't know. Black Planet.
Love Black Planet.
MySpace, Facebook. We were the original Facebook, original Instagram, original Twitter.
Yes,
that was us. Of course, the other stuff too, but those are the main ones. The kids now, they're TikTok, Snapchat. What else? What else am I thinking about? I know it's another one. They got Threads, like they got stuff like that now.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's a lot of their Musically for a lot of kids back then. Yeah, Musically, Vine, like a lot of kids and stuff like that really pushed the envelope for us to be where we at now. Like they made it what it is. Like we try to say that we did. Sure, TikTok existed, but them kids was doing it first.
Yeah.
We came in and snatched that motherfucker up. Like it's crazy.
Give it here. Let me.
I'll say it for you Gen Zs. Listen, y'all did it for us. This time it was a reverse. Y'all are the pioneers of the TikTok. We're not. So y'all got all respect. We got that shit now, but we y'all the pioneers of TikTok. Y'all own that.
Do you mean like in the message rooms, like in the message board rooms, Chaz?
What's that?
Chaz said, I don't know if y'all ever had
I'm coming to it. Okay.
I don't know if y'all ever had AIM drama, but that was where it all went down in middle school at Penn Charter. Are you meaning like in the message?
Oh no, like when people had beef and they would meet up in the chat rooms on the AIM chats.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. We used to have AIM chat. Like I didn't know none of them what we were talking about. But when I tell you that was a thing to do, to go and get in a chat room.
I was a hoe in them chat rooms, man. I had a girlfriend. Chaz, no, I was a hoe in them chat rooms. Like I had a girlfriend every day.
Oh no, he said, nah, I meant just kids messaging each other and talking shit about others. Nah, we didn't do that.
Oh, the beginning of cyberbullying.
I was talking to strangers.
Yes,
we also invented the danger of the internet. We were talking to strangers.
No, I mean just okay. Yeah, that's the chat talking about. What did you say, Mets? We had some legendary AIM chats back in the day. Listen, yo, Bennett, what was Mets? Oh, don't say that, Mets. Yours was oh my gosh, Mega Man. Oh my God, am I right, Bennett? It's Mega Man something, right? Was that your? Oh my God, was Mega Man something? I know that. I know Chaz's was Neo Tetsu. Am I right, Chaz? I know I'm close. Like I remember all those fucking AIM names. Like we be on there all the time, and all you get, you know how you be sleep. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what I used to do. Oh my God, I was so addicted to that thing when I was a kid. I'm on the right track. All right, I was close. You were close. Okay. I know it was one of these damn things. Chaz was PS1 RPG. Really? Okay. I remember I used to on a computer. I would sleep downstairs because I'd be up all night talking to one of my damn little girlfriends or whatever.
Yes.
I think her name was like, don't laugh, but her name was like XX Ghetto Dime XXX.
No, I used to talk to this dude. His name was like Daddy Fat Stacks, something. Like I can't. I'm like, what the hell? What are we doing?
Right, we had all these exes. Where the fuck these exes come from? And so I remember I'd be talking to her, and then she went message for forever, and I had to lay down and go back to sleep or something. And all you hear is, and you get up and go haul ass to the computer. Hey baby, how you doing? I'm like, oh, that was right at the beginning of my fucking damn sensitive life. Remember party lines and loop. Hey yo, that's something that Gen Zs will never ever respectfully understand, because I love that shit. We went in there. It wasn't like going in there and beef was being started and nobody was. No, you went in there and you was trying to meet the love of your life, even though 7,000 other people were talking at the same goddamn time. Yeah, back in the day stuff. Yeah, the party line. Yeah. I think we talked about this before in a previous show. Like the party line was that work. Studio 51, I think.
I never did party lines. I don't know why, but I missed that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember you be trying to look, basically, this is what happened, right? You be trying to talk to somebody, right? And you be waiting, and then next thing you know, the guy would do this message. He was like, "You've been matched. Say hello." Right? And then you would go, "Hey, hello." Boop. And then somebody hang up on you and move on to the next fucking person. Now you sit there feeling all stupid, like you sound like a fucking kid. We sound old. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I am.
We are mentally. Yeah. You gotta think that's 30 years ago almost.
Right.
Like I've been knowing Mets since 1996. That would just tell you it's 2025. Next year will be 30 years. So I was on everything. Listen, Chad's birthday next week. I'm gonna make sure you come up for the please come up for the podcast so we can wish you a happy birthday, Chaz. Because 40 is a milestone. That is an amazing accomplishment that many people have not hit. I'm glad that I lived the life that I lived. So I don't claim old yet. No, I don't never claim old, because you're not old until you check. When you're done, you're old. Like that means your body is like, all right, I give up. I give up. So, all right. So, our search behavior. What would you think our search stuff was like back in the day?
I bet you were probably searching like the goofiest shit ever.
No. Like your search engine. What I mean is like,
who
was your first one?
Wasn't it with Ask Jeeves?
We had Ask Jeeves. Yep.
We did.
Ask Jeeves and Google was out around the same time. Google started in 98, but Google didn't boom until like 2000 and what was it? 2004, 2005, somewhere around there when it boomed, because Ask Jeeves, Bing was out. Like a lot of things were out at that time. AOL had its own search service. Yahoo, like a lot of them already had their own search things, right? But Google just took it over because I don't know what information got put on there, but just dominated at that point. Honestly, there was about 37. They were called 37com, and they checked all the drones. I don't know what that is, Chaz. Excuse me, I don't know what that is. Please help me out with that one. But Google was a big part of it, but I think the first search engine I remember using was Internet Explorer. I think that's the one I remember the most, Internet Explorer. And that shit was a walking virus. That shit was a walking virus. Like, the chat doesn't like it when I put dot.
Oh, it'll stop him from putting a website. So he can't put.
Oh, okay.
Out. He just has to imagine there was a dot there, .com.
Yes, I got you now. All right, I understand, Chaz. Sorry about that. But it's at 37.com. I never heard of that. I've never heard of that before. I need to look that up and see what history belongs to that. So now our younger counterparts, Gen Zs, their first search behaviors is usually TikTok or YouTube. I always believe a kid's first search engine, if they were to do it as a kid, always going to be probably YouTube. YouTube is
Google.
the kids' territory right there. Like, they look at all the things. My daughter started watching YouTube at a younger age, and people say, "Oh, well, you didn't pay your daughter attention enough." Ask my daughter, did y'all pay her attention enough? Look who she is now. You can't tell me that I ain't pay my daughter attention. I did nothing but pay her attention. So Firefox, Edge, SGs, AOL, yep, all them old school joints. Gen Alpha gonna be using AI now. Yep. I think we're in beta now, Chaz. I don't think it's alpha no more. We're in beta now. 15 years has gone by. Like, we're in beta now, bro. From my understanding, we're in beta. I think alphas is done. Like, anything after 2004. I think 2004. When did Gen's beta start? Hold on. Sorry, y'all. We still here. Google. We got to ask the simple questions. While we sitting here doing this, what core thing if y'all can type it in the chat, it's gonna pop up right here on the stream. But Chat GPT is my best friend. But I ain't gonna lie, I use that shit all the time now. I just be ask different questions. I like to do the research myself, but I don't like to dive, like to go rabbit holing down Chat GPT. But what core thing do y'all remember when y'all were children? And what would y'all say the thing that you do now, or the thing that you did then, what do you see happening now? That's a good question. What do you see happening now that you did back in the day? Like, that's a good question to ask. Like, what do you see? Like, this is familiar. It's easy for me. Gaming is easy for me because how kids game, they game in the same capacity as how I did when I was younger. Yeah. They have access to way more now, though. Because I feel like if we were if we had, like, in Chaz, probably we easily can say this, if we had the technology that they have now for stuff back then, what I mean, like, if we had that technology back then, me and my friends would have been millionaires. We'd have been millionaires by now. We would have been millionaires because we would have did all that. We still could have, but MapQuest used to be shit.
Yes.
Yo, MapQuest saved lives.
Print them directions out.
That should tell you how many lefts you was making, how far you was going. You literally had to watch out for signs back then.
Yes, pages of directions.
Pages, damn. I just had one page. Basically, had pages.
Nah, like, you know where you going. If you go, all right. And don't let you whatever you printed it on. Don't let the font be a little large. You go be just one page. You got to turn a page. You got to flip a page to get to the next direction.
He said, "Yeah, we grew up."
Where they made kid versions.
Version of devices.
Kids' versions of devices back then. That's true. I think that one thing that's never going to go away is like we, even with Black Planet and Plenty of Fish and all that stuff that we used to like, finding people and dating people online, like through like dating apps, is still very much the same. Like, it's the same format. We like what we were doing on Black Planet and meeting people. It's the exact same format for like kids now. Like, they're doing the exact same thing.
So we like once again, being on AOL, that was dating. Being on the chat rooms, that was dating. I met my child's mother on MySpace. Yeah. Hey, that's what happens. Yeah. You get access to people you've never seen before. Like, you're going to meet people on social media. It is what it is. And now you're living in a society now where people are trying to be more traditional with that stuff and like, oh, I want to do this way. It's like, no, you're gonna have to take advantage of what's here now. It's just what it is. Like, you could be organic as you need to be, but it's gonna be hard being organic because people don't go outside like that. So it's like, at least the person you possibly looking for, and she ain't outside. I had sitting somewhere taking pictures or chilling or doing whatever she doing, taking on somebody's beach or somebody's boat taking pictures. That's where your person is at, chilling
Right.
somewhere, having fun. That's probably where they at. So, if I could date how I did on the loop, I'd be much more successful. Yeah, I had no business meeting people in person out there, John. But you did. It is like you enjoyed yourself. You had fun. Danger is still danger. I don't think danger is anything different. I mean, we can blame it on how people think nowadays, but I think people have always thought like this. You just have more exposure to the people now, and they've always been here. So it's not like anything is changing. I would say it's probably more and more of these people coming along, as far as your safety and certain things, because I think the world is starting to show like it's itself a certain way. So it's like negative energy is the easiest thing to grasp onto. So, somebody you only have to say nothing to somebody to know for negative energy and they want to say something. So yeah, I understand. Yeah. So, let me see. Do you think we have way more patience than they do, than Gen Zs?
Absolutely. I mean, okay. I think we grew up in an era, you have to think about it. We grew up in an era where it was hurry up and wait. Like we wanted things, but we had to wait for it to happen. We had to wait for, like, we had to be patient a lot when it comes to technology, when it came to anything. We had to be patient. They now don't know what waiting is. Everything is instant. Everything is plug and play. You know what I mean? They don't have to do a lot of digging, a lot of trying to figure out to get something. It's instant satisfaction. It's part of the reason why attention spans are so short. And it's starting to happen to us now as well, because we're now so used to it that I feel like now our attention spans are almost just as short. You know what I'm saying? Like we experience everything in 15, 30-second slots. If there's something that doesn't keep our attention long enough, we kind of check out. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's happening to all of us, but I think because they have never known like what it means to wait for anything, why would they want to wait? You know what I mean? If it takes too long, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. If it's not instantly available to them, they're not going to wait.
Yeah. And I think that kind of like just answers a lot of questions behind the similarities with us, because we're very much so like them. The part about us that makes it is that I don't think a lot of us aren't necessarily judging them. We are happy that they're more abrasive and more this. Of course, we still gotta, when they being too abrasive against us, it's like, all right, young boy, back the fuck up just a little bit. Like it's still like I'm gonna swell up on you. You get up on me, kid. Like you don't push up on me. I ain't no killer, but no push me. Like I might have to shoot these Tupac lyrics real quick. Like, I do believe it's easier for people to find out about others' whereabouts on those who share too much about their location on social media. Yeah, and it's like you said, people very much so used to be taken from their families and all types of stuff back then. It happened a lot. Like that stuff. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Milk cartons wasn't playing. I remember I used to go to Mac read the newspaper. I'd be a page full of people. Like, and we got way more technology than we ever had back then.
Was that everybody's mother's go-to threat? Do you want to end up like a kid on the back of a milk carton?
Yes. Because that's what they knew back then. That's all they knew. It ain't like, like now you post it up on social media, the eyes is all around.
True.
You can't even lie about certain things now. Like, no, you lie, they're gonna catch your ass at some point. But as far as the patience and stuff like that, we definitely have a little more patience than them, a lot more patience. I think that one thing about millennials, you got to pile it on us. When you pile it on us, a lot of us, I'm not going to generalize it. When you pile it on a lot of us that might have a little bit more patience than others, once you pile it on us, that shit will come back to you. When it come back to you, you ain't gonna like it. Like we come back with some fiery rage. Like there's a little Gen X in there somewhere. Like I don't want to be nothing like that, but I am my mother's son, so I'm nothing like how she is, but I got a little bit of her anger. So it's like when I get mad, I know I can turn to a tiny version of my mom. Just like, cut your ass out quick. Like, like, it's learned behavior at some point. So, but I have control of it. I ain't going too far, but but I'm not going to say that they're impatient. I just think that they know what they like, and they're embracive about what they like and what it is for them. But just like Chaz said, just them being socialized to think that their messages and stuff like that is. As soon as somebody message, I gotta message them back. It's like, no, you don't have to. You're choosing to, but okay, we got you. Like, you still can sit your ass down. Like,
right.
So, yeah, I do believe I believe that, and I believe, for me personally, when it comes to a Gen Z, you have to be on their ass about things. I know a lot of people think a little different with that, but you got to be on their ass, because I don't know if there's just the privilege in them, because they have a lot more privilege than we ever had.
Yeah, that's
true. What I mean by that is, like, they have a lot of access to a lot of these things, so to them, the seriousness of things don't really kick in right away.
True.
When it comes to certain things, like I'm a firm believer. Like, all right, we know how people like, don't do this, don't do that towards your kids, whatever the case is. I was a corrections officer, and over a period of time of me being a corrections officer, I had to gain tougher skin towards them people.
Mm-hmm.
I could go in there. When I first went there, I was a little intimidated, a little scary, because you don't know who you're dealing with. I'm thinking, I don't want to like stab me, do something like that. But it's like, after a while, you build some type of something for that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you build that for that, nothing won't really affect you the same exact way. And sometimes you can kind of use the tactics and certain things to talk to people or to get at people a certain way, because it's like, I knew what it was like to sit with inmates and stuff like that. I knew what it was like to sit with them and watch them know they can't go home, but I can. And watch them deal with stress, and watch them try to fight at you and try to fight at your crew and try to do these different things. And it's like, once you kind of get that, like, that's why I say you got to ground them, because they don't see the seriousness in some of the things that they do. Some of them don't. Well, it's a lot of them that don't. They don't see the seriousness of it in it, and they're just being kids, and they're just being children, or they're just being younger adults learning how to live life the same way we. So it's like, I can't put my expectations of what I had in my life on them. All I can sit back and say is, yo, don't make this mistake, because you're living in a time where they're harder on everything now. They just want to go after you for everything.
Yeah.
Because we know too much. I feel like our punishment is the fact that we know too much.
Yeah.
So like that's all of like, hey, you got to be on them.
Can we also just talk about? Can we just take a pause? I know you just said you were correctional. Can we talk about the fact that prison talk is a thing? Can we just talk about that, like, for a second? It's a real thing. The inmates are talking to us on TikTok. They have, like, I don't know what they're like, how they got these cell phones or iPads or what, but when I tell you that prison talk is a real thing, they go live, they record YouTube videos from the set. Like, who the hell? How are y'all in the chat? I have had lives where the dude was like, where people have been like, no, I'm currently incarcerated. I'll be out this time. Like, what the hell are you doing in here? What, you got prison stuff? You're not doing prison stuff? Like, you in the chat talking like everybody else? What the? What are y'all doing?
What?
I bring out.
To answer that question, it ain't coming from nobody but the guards. Stuff like that don't get through any other kind of way. Only the guards is giving it to them. I'm not, listen, that's just what it is. They give
them tablet time. I was just about to say that. They get tablets now, and they give them tablet time.
It's like a 5-year-old. Like, yo, give him
Because
tablet
that's
time.
what the guy told me. I said, you know, he used to come in my lives all the time. And I had to ask him one day. I was like,
You had a prisoner in your life?
I was like, how are you doing this? And he says, they give us tablets and they could go on live. Sometimes I have watched with my own eyes a live with inmates. It was just live on TikTok.
Sarita said, I'm so glad that my FYP stopped showing me those lives. Because what do you mean you in prison?
Right. What are you doing?
That's an old relic that just hasn't gone anywhere. And what I mean by that is prisoners having relationships or trying to get relationships with people outside to have a pen pal or somebody to talk to or comfort them. So when they come home, next thing you know, they got somebody to come lay out with for a little bit until they get their swag back, and then they out there cheating on them and they out there doing their stuff. Then they get sent back, and then they messaging the woman that was there from them the first time.
Well, listen, they made it way easier now. Now you don't have to try to get a pen pal. Now all you got to do is go live from the cell.
And that's crazy work because it's like you don't know what's about to happen. You don't know if that person got beef with somebody, and next thing you know, on TikTok live, he start getting poked all up.
You never know. You never know.
Or somebody want to take his cheeks from me that night.
You never know.
Live on TikTok.
Prison talk is real.
Now you live on TikTok with your cheeks
You
spread.
used to have a prison pen pal win in college. Wait, how? How did that happen? How did Leilani? You have to tell us how that actually came about.
Leilani, how? Why? All the things. Just
right.
What were you thinking?
How did we get to that point?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, he was a for lifer, and you just wanted to give. I understand, but at the same time, why? Like, why? I'm gonna start putting that Joe Button gif up in here when he be like, why? And he be all serious and shit. Like, that's gonna be me with y'all. Now, that's about to sound fucked up. I don't understand what the hell people are doing with that, but leave them fucking prisoners where they are. They are a property of the state. Some of them are in there. Some of them are in there for reasons that ain't even their problem. Some of them, a lot of them are in there for child support purposes, but they'll blame it on another thing. That's one of the easiest ways to get locked up. Imagine you get into a fight at a bar. Now right. they want we're gonna charge you. I mean, we ain't gonna charge you for aggravated assault, but you bought 30 grand in a hole in child support, so we're gonna throw you in prison for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get out, you still can't pay that 30 grand. So now you just sitting with a chain wrapped around your neck, waiting for them to pull you back in. Like, yeah, it's she said, wait, huh? Yeah. The state prison wasn't far from my college, and they had a son of.
They encouraged it. I'm so confused.
What college did you go to? Like,
they're like, hey, I want to make friends with the prisoners. I mean, I get it.
Go to a college
but
where
also, what?
The professor had a fucking 40 on the table about this big. Boom, yo, we're signing y'all up for the Prisoner Awareness Month or something. Like, wait, what? What is this? And Leilani, was he out there? He got her too. He got you, Leilani.
Not for the college.
Hit you with those sweet words. Hit you with those sweet words. I'll be here forever, baby. I need somebody. You come up here, man. I promise. I got you. Put some money in your pocket. Let you finish school up. They hit you with all those words. And I'm like, okay. 18, dumb as hell. Not you, really dumb, but influence. You don't. When you're that young, you don't understand influence is strong. Right. So somebody can get you like the snap of your finger, be the smartest person in the room. Tuskegee University.
Wild. Why do they encouraging the babies to be prison?
They put a sheet right there. They go and sign your name on here. Motherfucking Clarence come walking in here. He 52, got to do life. All over here, got the Rick Ross face and stuff, and Leilani went right for it. I'll pick with you, Leilani, but yeah, I would never do that. I'm sorry. Now, on the other hand, when I was a corrections officer, there was some fine ass damn inmates. You be looking, they were like, "Yo, you can't come in here." And it'd be sad. He'd be like, damn, what are you doing? You can find out into this wild shit. Like one lady, I'm telling her I ain't there no more. One lady was in there, she poured battery acid on her dude.
No.
Sat there and smoked a cigarette while he was burning from it.
No.
Yeah. She sat there. I was like, oh, okay. Fucking with you. Like battery acid, like that's death right there. That's attempted murder. So yeah. But let's see. We got about one more little small thing and then we can move on. All right. This is one of the big ones I wanted to kind of go for. So values and identities. This is a big one, Chaz. You probably right there. You can talk about that. Sounds like a scene from a Tyler Perry movie. Right. Pour the battery acid. And you know how Tyler Perry got to be extra with it. Yeah, motherfucker, I should throw the cigarette on you. That's the type of shit that Tyler Perry doing his movies. Like he go extra with it.
He'd make it worse and worse.
Yeah. He was in there for aggravated assault. I ain't gonna read the rest of your comment. I'm not gonna read the rest of it, Leilani.
That is sad. That is unfortunate. So you had an old man, pen pal.
Oh, okay. I thought that he was just in there for aggravated assault. I didn't want to read the rest. So when I said aggravated assault, I'm like, oh my god.
That's the part where like we have to read it the whole way through. We'd already judged off of aggravated assault.
I already judged it as soon as I seen it. So this is get a little deeper, not too deep, but just deeper as far as thought process. And we can end it with that one. Values and identities. What millennials did, as far as us, work-life balance, self-actualization, and authenticity.
Authenticity?
So Gen Z focused on mental health, social justice, inclusivity, and identity fluidity.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that's going on now, they're so free. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The kids are gay now. I'm like, oh shit. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like they're able to express and be themselves. I'm like, all right, 100%. Here we go.
100%.
And they just do it. And then people are like, oh, it's this that's doing that. I would just say that like they're gonna do it if they want to fucking do it. What do you how you gonna go into another person's life that you ain't gotta breathe their air and tell them what to do with their life? Like they're let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. They out here saving it. They out here ain't hurting the world. They just being a part of it. That's all.
Very true.
Only problem I got with a lot of Gen Zs now is the violence. The violence is unnecessary for half of these kids now because of the ages. But that's also inner city. That's also a lot of systemic things. I understand it all. It's still a thing, though. They're still taking each other out, though.
That's true. That's true. I also think technology doesn't help. Like it's crazy to like how you can take a post, right? And something might happen to somebody and someone might have been offended and they make a post about it, right? And then the comment in the chat, their automatic response is to find where that person lived, harass them. You know what I mean? Like it's the mentality is wild, and it happens a lot with really young people. Like if you do something to somebody that we just saw online, now we're just going to make your life hell. We want to ruin your life. We want to call your job. We want to call your loved ones and family members. We want to make sure that you're miserable. And I get it. There's sometimes we see things where we're like, no, this person should not be working, or you know what I mean, or this person needs to pay for it. Right. Cyberbullying is wild and it runs rampant. And it's such a like everyday thing for them. They see nothing wrong with it. They're like, you told us. And then if you should say, hey guys, let's not go and attack them. They're like, you brought us into it. Now they get what they get. And they're just so comfortable with it. Yeah. It's really scary.
But you know what? To be fair to them, it's not just 100%. I think that we might be doing, and it's in a sense, we do this, we're kind of doing the same thing that the Gen X's think of us, in a sense, right? Sure, you know, and what I mean by that is like we know what they're doing. We know the things that happen, the cyberbullying and all that other stuff. But we also know that we dealt with that too. We had the same amount of things that was happening too. I think numbers are skewed a certain way. You know, they put a lot more on it, whereas like let's get to the core root of other things. Like we didn't have the know-how of. Not gonna say we didn't have know-how. It was there. It just never was pushed to us, or some resources were able to give us the help that we possibly needed, or the resource that we needed to get us on track with certain things. Like people that does cyberbullying and stuff like that. Fuck no, I don't want nobody doing that to my kid. We also know that that's also a response. That's also a call from a kid too. When they have to bully somebody, we do know that that's something too. So it's like the mental health of a kid still matters. Like, and I know sometimes you get that, you know, you have a thing, but some of them are like that because, like, my family member. I'm not gonna put it out there because I don't know who watches my show. My family member used to bully people back because they were getting bullied.
Right. And no, I get that that's a thing, but I'm talking about when I'm speaking to is like, not to say that bullying cannot be like a symptom of something deeper. I'm talking about the way we have systematically kind of made mob mentality way like more easy. You know what I mean? Like it's you see something and then you're like, oh, it's easy to attack them. You're doing it behind a camera. It doesn't necessarily have to mean because you were being bullied. You were behind the safety of a screen. And the ease of access to information also allows them to be able to do things like dox people's address. Right. Put all their information out. And then sometimes they don't even understand the severity of it. Like I remember this young guy who his information was doxed, and he had to let people know by actually following through with legal procedures that they could go to jail. Like they thought it was all fun and games until he brought the law into it. And then they were messaging him and begging him not to. Like, but nah, y'all thought it was all cool to, like, you know, try to expose his information and call his house and harass him. You thought it was cute. You thought it was a fun time. That's when it's crazy.
Right. And I know that's what I'm saying. I agree exactly with the sentiments that we are 100% talking about. I just think that for some kids, a lot of the kids out here, it's a trauma response for some kids too. They bully because they're being bullied. They bully because of what they're not getting. You know, they bully because they might have a mean family and he's growing up around mean people and it's making that person mean. You know, like that person only knows how to be mean because the reason why I kind of figure that could be it because when sometimes I talk to people around our age and you hear how they're still raging at 38, 39 years old and they rage the same way the kids do. Yeah. And it's like, oh, they're similar. Because they'll start talking about, because I don't think people realize how much that parenting run deep. It run deep because if you survive it and you move on in your life, you still got that with you. A lot of people still carry that rage from even when they were a kid.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I understand what you mean. I think that yes, there are definitely instances where it could be symptomatic of something that has happened to them, and you just might be, you know, projecting. But also in the same vein, that does not justify that you get to.
No, it's not even a little bit.
Act a fool. Like just because you were bullied, that is not a justification. It might be your reasoning, but it is definitely not a justification. And now that you feel safe behind a computer to be a troll or to it's even crazier when they get to the point where we forget that these are people's lives. Like I said, I do understand that sometimes there are circumstances where something egregious has happened and we want to contact a person's employer and be like, hey, did you know that this happened? This is wild. Somebody has to address, this is somebody you have representing your business, that kind of thing. Yeah. But when it comes down to some petty little disagreement and argument, and now everybody's gone to try to find out all the information on that person, and you've reported, we know someone that we probably both know that got in the mix of, and I think I told you about this at one time, what's called messy TikTok. And they kind of like got into the mix of that, thinking that it was going to help to bring like followers. They didn't really participate a lot, but they wanted to find those connections and hopefully network with those people so they can gain more followers and start making money on TikTok. And maybe it will expose them to a bigger crowd. What they didn't realize is that people on that side, they don't give a fuck about your life or what's happening. They do things for the views and for the money. Found this person's prison records, like posted them online for everybody to see, and it wasn't even that deep. But they decided to turn him into some sort of predator, pulled up all of his old past stuff that he was now, since his life is he's doing so much better. Like, yeah, he might have committed a crime in the past and he's going through a rehabilitation process, trying to live straight, got a job, doing all that stuff. But because they knew it was going to get them likes and views, they went and searched all this information, put it up for everybody to see, talked about all the things they did as a kid, and simultaneously tried to paint this some person as some sort of predator when nothing like that had even happened. It was really wild to watch.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. Ooh, I don't know what the result of that is. Hopefully, something came out of that for the right side of that situation. Like,
yeah,
that whoever that is need to be, obviously, justice and need to be served to that person. So hopefully they are still dealing with consequences from that, because that just some bullshit. And like I said, that's why we agree. And as I said, I can't, when we look at the Gen Zs, I don't want to do what everybody does to us and treat it as if them few is the many. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part. The few is the, because we walk around with Gen Zs that don't do none of that stuff. So it's like that's like, when I see it, if I see 1%, if I see the 0.0001% doing it different than everybody else, then I know that percentage is a lot higher. I just can see the percentage that's in front of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that my daughter isn't going to do a particular thing. And if I caught her, she knows what's going to happen. She knows immediately I'm on her ass about it. You know, like the results of something. And I always tell her, don't learn your lesson. Don't learn your lessons from me. Don't learn your lesson from something else that's going to take away from your life.
Yeah.
Because you know the differences or whatever. If I tell you it, chances are, because I'm like, anytime I'm telling you something, I'm telling you because I know something is about to come, that's about to be bad. Because I really don't I don't tell my daughter a lot of different things. I just let her be her. But when it comes to certain things, I'm like, no. She knows when it's no, and I know, and she knows when I'm telling her no, then it's don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, so I agree, and I do think, like, these kids definitely have position where they can learn from a lot of the mistakes they make when it comes to stuff like that. But that's also why I believe, like, the system needs to play more into what it is. You force feed them a lot of social media, so you know that they know. You know that they react based off of a lot of stuff that they know. A lot of them kids gonna get at your ass about stuff like I said. Let's look at, like I said, the fluidity thing. Some of them don't want to be heterosexual people. They want to be homosexual. They want to be identified as asexual. They want to be pansexual. They want to be whatever they want to be. And I love the fact that they don't give a fuck when they just want to move on with their life. They're going to live their life like a movie. If they want to take the pictures and be on social media and just look good doing it, how they going to do it? Let them do it. All you could do, I feel like our values and what we should be doing now is being there for them, rather we a coach or whatever the case is in life. Because I can go up to you and tell you everything that I'm like, hey, you might not want to do this, you might not want to do that, and maybe they'll listen to that as opposed to telling them, like, what you're doing is wrong. Like, actually talk to them about what it is. Let them see their own reality of the situation, because these kids obviously grew a certain way. My daughter is a beast at doing this TikTok stuff, but I always get at her about her common sense. Like, that's a primary example. Like, you can still get through to these kids big time. You can make them see their reality. Like, that's who they is, not just have not discovered that due to the society we live in. Oh, he's probably saying that. Did I say choice at some point?
Like, I think it's because you were saying they want to be, as opposed to they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so like, differences with us, Chaz, and what I mean by that is, understanding them a certain way and not necessarily. Sometimes we can use the what it is, like everything that you're saying. Sure, that's the thing, but some of them know that they are, but they have to convince, or not gonna say convince you, but they have to. It's almost borderline what we had to go through, like when a lot of people want to be who they want to be, you know what I mean, but they couldn't because
Right.
of whatever reason.
So
Now,
I think, and this is for both you and Chaz. I think what Chaz is trying to say, and what you were trying to say, I think there's probably maybe lost in translation a little bit. It's just the way you're phrasing it when you say when they be who they want to be, and Chaz is saying no, it's who they are. So I think it's just a matter of terminology, right? I think you're trying to say that not that they're trying to choose to be a thing, it's they are who they are, but they may not be able to openly express who they are and be who they are because of their situations. Not that they are, because of technology, they're choosing to be this because they see it. You know what I mean?
It's not because of technology.
It's a matter of they are. So I think that's what's happening there. I think it's just kind of like it's your phrasing when you say they want to be who they want to be. I think he's saying. I think his argument is that it's not a choice; it's who they actually are. And I think it's just because you're not made. It's just the way you're phrasing it. It sounds like. And with what he's saying, it sounds like they're choosing to be a thing, and it might not be who they are. They're just making a choice to be this kind of person. But that's not.
I got you. Yeah, we were kind of going the same things. The difference between out or closeted, we do live in a society where that's more accepting. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now the society
my
is what it is.
daughter is Gen Z. My daughter is also out. Like, and there's no, she has, I remember being worried for her when she originally came out to me, just because of one, where we lived, and the, it just wasn't going to be, I knew that it wouldn't be welcoming to her. And also she was young, but what comforted me was I realized that she was entering into an era where people felt safe to openly express and be who they wanted to be. Not without judgment, because there's still judgment, but the space in the room looks a lot different than it did, maybe say for us or for previous generations, to be openly out and comfortable with who you are and express yourself, openly.
And that's the beauty of it, and that's what everybody should want to have. Should want to have that. Always have that option, and like you said, we live in a society now. They don't have to worry about that stuff. They really don't. It's accepted. At least it's accepted a lot more.
There's a lot,
it's a lot more accepted now.
But like she definitely still feels like she can be put into situations where she may not be always safe. You know what I mean? Or she may have to, be careful of her surroundings and the people around her, even though she's very comfortable with being out and very comfortable with who she is and makes no apologies for it. She knows there's still situations where she may have to be aware of her surroundings, and that everybody's not going to be accepting, and everybody's not going to feel like they can mind their own business and not say something. So
pretty much. I'm going to say something as far as that. Damn it. Oh, yeah, we still got a lot to go. Still a lot, that we got to do in this world as far as, sure, you can accept somebody possibly being, out, as you'll say, I don't want to use the other words necessarily, but being out and stuff like that. But now you're still working on accepting other people too, like people that walk other lives.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll put Leilani's and Chaz's up. Even at my big girl age, I still understand the right place and time to be fully who I am, even if it's accepted. Exactly. Like you have to, you can still be very comfortable, but also you have to be aware of your surroundings, because sometimes you have to know, like, this might not be the time and the place to be like completely, and not to saying that she has to hide who she is, but sometimes you just have to be aware of where you are and the people that are around you. Chaz is saying, it's all relatives. Growing up in the 90s was much worse for queer people than it is now, but we still have a long way to go. 100%. 100%.
All right. Well, it was a pretty good conversation. I enjoyed that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun with it. Next time we should get a Gen Z up here and see how they think.
I would have invited Lola, but she are we code switching or are we tone policing? What do you mean Chaz? By code switching. I don't think she meant code switching. I think she meant just being aware of where. I think Chaz is asking about what we were just talking about and like what Leilani was saying, what I was saying about like my daughter and being aware. I don't think we're talking about code switching. I think we're just talking about being aware that at least for me, and Leilani, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think Lola, that's my daughter. In her particular situation, she is never going to not be who she is. Like she's never going to turn that off. It's just about knowing where you are and knowing when you're safe and being aware of your surroundings. But Lola refuses.
I gotta say, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
was
Lola
you talking
refuses.
about that, Jones?
She's definitely not trying to like. She can't turn it off. Like she's not going to, and she can't. So yeah, I don't think it's a matter of like necessarily code switching. I think Leilani just meant that she can't, even when she knows that it's accepted, she does know that there's places where she might not be able to be fully who she is.
And that could be like what, a safety issue and stuff like that too.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, people still like jackasses when it comes to that. So, but I didn't get a response from. But if that's you're correct. Okay, I don't know exactly what they're like referring to with this anyway. So we just wait to see. If we don't get it now, I know we gotta get off here. Oh, that's basically it. Okay. So yeah, like I said, good conversation, good things to learn about us as far as millennials, but Gen Zs are definitely like they're here and it's the next wave for them. Passing that baton, I have no issues with that at all. Like no thinking issues. Ain't got no choice anyway. But knowing that, I think that once my daughter gets to a certain age, I think she's gonna be quite all right. She's gonna be quite all right. Like the girl is hilarious. Like so. Yeah. It's just something that I just don't feel like I worry about when it comes to her. She's an amazing kid, and just watching her grow and watching her do a thing, I'm like, hopefully you're able to check that part and make some things happen. So, what is Chad talking about? Sorry.
Oh, he said, I mean, I was wondering more from a don't do that gay behavior sort of way. Not you're usually at a 10, but you're at a 5 in church type. Oh, yeah. So yeah, no, so I think what she's saying and what I'm saying is more of the latter. It's definitely not don't be gay. But it's
definitely wasn't that. I heard that part of the conversation. It wasn't that at all.
She might want to just like maybe you're right, maybe like be at a 5, like when you were in church or something like that. My daughter is not a feminine girl, and so Lola has no desire to she's not going to try to feminine it up for you just because we're going anywhere. Yeah, right. Not because I want her to be, but if we're going to church, Lola is not about like she just like you.
No, not you. I'm talking about like somebody else would want her.
Oh yeah, she's like fuck that. I am who I am. She. Right. I think she also understands that when we go into those environments, she also understands that people are going to look at her, and that somebody might ask a question, and people might give her weird looks, and you know what I mean. Like she also understands that might exist, but she refuses. She refuses to like try to fem it up just to make other people comfortable because that's not who she is. So
I got you. All right, y'all, we getting off of here. It's late. Yeah. Thank y'all for keeping this up. But all right, listen, y'all know what I like. If y'all before y'all leave out, everybody who is watching, please just press the like for us. Press that like button for us. It really helps out and stuff like that. And I really thank y'all for coming through and hanging out with us. I know Leilani just wrote something else. Yeah, I'm still me everywhere but but being open sexuality isn't safe to express everywhere.
Right.
Facts.
It's not safe everywhere. That's true.
Yeah, that's facts. So y'all just, like I said, everybody be safe. Take care of yourself.
Yes, guys.
Love life. Always have, I don't know what I want to say. I'm getting off of here.
I was like, what do you want to say? Live, laugh, love?
Well, I'm about to say something dumb. What the fuck I was about to say? I was about to say something.
The live, laugh, love quote to go.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Right. Bye, guys.